Hi, in this video, I will quickly show you a demo like how we can configure Kubernetes autoscale configuration on an example AWS EKS cluster. Okay, so as you see in this picture, so this is a pictorial overview of my demo where to show you like how we can configure the autoscale on example EKS cluster or a example Kubernetes cluster. So here what I do is I have created an Amazon EKS service. So on top of that Amazon EKS service, I will configure a horizontal pod autoscale configurations, and at the end I will give a I will produce a artificial threshold on the EKS cluster so that I will show you the autoscale in the sense how does the horizontal part autoscale works. Okay, so that was the main motive of this demo. Okay, so with that note, let's directly jump onto this video. So to save the time, what I did is I have pre-created an example EKS cluster with using EKCTL tool. Okay. So as you see in this picture, so this is a PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, where I have set my context to my AWS account with using access key ID, access key secret, and the reason and output. Okay. And finally, I'm using the EKCTL tool to create the our example EKS cluster. Okay. So here EKS cluster is nothing but an example Kubernetes cluster. Yeah. So what I did is I have given some name called pod autoscale, and the node type is t2.large. Nodes are minimum nodes are 3, at rest it is 3, maximum equal to 5, and region is US East. Whereas the zones of the US East are something like this, yeah, A, B, C, and all, yeah. Okay, so this is about my EKS configuration. Huh? So now let me go to the Amazon web portal. So this is my Amazon web portal where you see the my EKS cluster, that is pod autoscale is up and running. Okay, so this is the setup of my demo. Yeah. Similarly, I will take you to one more file. So this is a command file. I call it as a command file where I have documented all the commands I need to execute to show you the actual pod autoscale task or pod autoscale demo. Okay. So here what I did is first part, it covers like how you will set up an AWS EKS cluster with using EKCTL. Okay, so here it needs the EKCTL tool as a prerequisite. So this is where you go through and find out the like how you can set up the EKS cluster or EKCTL tool, and nothing but EKS command line tool. Yeah. So in your system, that this is the website which guides you. Yeah. And after that, so this is the command which we just saw. So I use this and I spin up my EKS cluster. Okay, after that, so these are the next commandlets to get the data about it. Okay, and after that you see there is a one more separation, that is this is a part. Yeah, so in this part what I did is I have documented the kubectl commands that we need to run to show you the actual autoscale configuration, and also we do a artificial resource crunch and also see like how the parts gets automatically scaled. Yeah, so all those steps are being documented here. Okay, so with that note, let's directly jump to this demo. As you see here, my cluster is up and running fine. What I do is I just query the kubectl and see if what is the status of my nodes. Okay, so let me run command called kubectl get nodes. Yeah, right. So what I am doing is, so before you run the kubectl command, make sure that, let's say if you are using the existing EKS cluster, make sure that you update your kube config. Okay, yeah. So since I have created the EKS cluster in this PowerShell session, by default the kube config will be getting updated with this session, and it will be parted to a right EKS cluster only. Yeah, and that is the reason you see that the output of the kubectl get nodes is pointing to our nodes, EKS nodes. Okay, so with that, let's directly go to the first command. Okay, first command. So before I explain you you know, before, so here what we did is, so let me go back to the picture here. So this is my picture, right? So in this EKS, what we did is we configured the EKS. Now what we did is on this EKS cluster we set up this HPA, that is horizontal pod autoscaling configurations. Now to set up the horizontal pod autoscaling configuration on the Amazon EKS cluster, we have to enable the EKS metric server. Yeah, nothing but Kubernetes metric server. So to do that, we have to run a command called kubectl apply and pointing to this URL. Yeah. So let me copy this. I will explain you before I run this command. Yeah. So here, let me copy it again. Okay. So this is yeah, this is my command. So you see, I am doing the kubectl apply and pointing to a GitHub. This is a open source GitHub YAML template. Okay. So I'm just saying that a kubectl apply, nothing but apply whatever the specification file present under this GitHub repo, and that is what been directed for us to to enable the metric servers on the EKS cluster. Okay. So that is the reason I'm just running this command. So what it does this, it will enable the it will configure the metric servers configurations on our EKS cluster. Now you might have the doubt saying like, see, why do we need to configure the metric servers? Okay, so metric server is nothing but you are enabling a kind of feature on the your Kubernetes cluster, which will help you to give the data um, about your Kubernetes servers matrices, which includes Kubernetes server resource configurations, resource usage, resource configurations, and what is the previous history of the resource configuration, what is the current history of resource configurations or resource utilization. Okay, in it will just tell you like what is been consumed, what is there, and what has been consumed at resource level. Yeah, and all those values will be in the form of numbers, okay, in the form of percentage or numbers or respective measurements. Yeah, for example, we measure the memory in GB, MB, and all. Yeah, similarly CPU for like cores, okay, cores are the micro seconds that is being used, something like that. Yeah, so that's where, so you see, right, I just when I run this command, we say that the metric servers got successfully configured. Now let's go to the next command. So once the metric services are been configured, let's check the status of our metric servers. Okay, so let's see. So this command help us to evaluate the status of our metric server. Okay, so let's see what it tells us. Okay, so it should be something like success or healthy. That is what been expected here. Yeah. So I just run this command called kubectl API server, right? So kubectl API servers, there looks like some issue, but we can correct it now. Yeah. So if I run the command kubectl get API server, okay, so because it does not use us the jQuery, right? So let's use this. Yeah. So this is like a live troubleshooting for you. So you see, since we use the jQuery or JQ, so that is the reason it is not identifying, because it's a Windows system. Okay, mine is a Windows system. In your case, if it supports the JQ, and probably it would work. Yeah. So let me type this. Okay, I typed the same command. So let me use it again. Yeah. So this is how, this is a live demo. Okay, I have not prepared anything. Okay, I'm just showing you on the go itself. So let's see what this command gives us the output. Okay, you see, right, the command output is very good, and we see, right, so we want the end map. Yeah, so end dictionary, right? So here we have like, right, it says the status equal to true. Yeah, and type equal to allable. Yeah, nothing but it tells that our metric server is configured successfully. Okay. Whereas I will, so regarding this commands.json file, what I do is I will share this command.json file in my GitHub repo, and the GitHub repo link will be presented, or it will be given in my video's description. Please find this file from there only. Yeah. And the next command is, since we have enabled the kubemetric servers, next what we do is we configure an example sample app on our EKS cluster. Then what we do is we configure the HPA, and finally we artificially make a resource crunch and see that if the HPA works as expected. Okay, so that is the main motive of this demo. So let me configure the deploy sample application. Okay, what I do is I just host a sample application on this my EKS cluster with using this command. So let me configure it. Right. You see, it has successfully created the service or application. It has successfully hosted the application with using kubectl command. And after that, I'm configuring that deployment, right? So here we did a deployment. Now we are configuring the resources. Okay, that's all the differences. Here we have made a deployment, nothing but our application deployment. And after that, we are setting the resources within the deployment. Yeah. What we are doing, we are setting the CPU usage equal to 200 milliseconds, something like that. Yeah. So once that commands get successfully, you see that the resource got updated, and it also does port expose as well. Okay, so let's do that. Once that is done, we have to see the pods status. Okay, what are the pods status? That we have exposed the port 80. Let's see what is the status of our pods. You see the pod is up and running fine. Okay, yeah. So or else you can run a just direct command like saying like say kubectl get pods. Yeah, you see right? It's reflecting the same output. Okay. So now let's go to the next command. So next command is the original business command for us. Okay. In this demo, I'm focusing on how to configure the autoscale. Okay. To show that what I did is I configured the metric server. I hosted an example sample service or example WAP on my example app on my EKS cluster. Now on top of that app, what I'm doing is I'm configuring the HPA, that is the horizontal pod auto scaling configurations. Okay. You see, let me explain this command while I execute this. Here I'm using the kubectl and the auto scale is the operation. Yeah. You see here I use the word create, but here we are using the auto scale is nothing but a API name. Yeah. So here auto scale is nothing but our API name and targeting to the this object, nothing but deployment object. Yeah. And this is our application name and what we are doing. Yeah. So we are doing this nothing but CPU percentage. If CPU percentage is equal to or greater than 50 uses, then minimum one part has to be increased. Okay. And at maximum how many numbers of parts can be increased or horizontally scaled is up to 10%, up to 10 in the sense whenever there is a CPU usage is high, it can scale one part at each time, and at max it can reach to a maximum parts of count 10. Okay, that's what this the horizontal part scaling configuration tells all about us. Okay, under the hood it does configure the configurations within the Kubernetes cluster, something like that. Okay, so you see the horizontal part scaler configuration is successfully updated. Yeah, and after that let's go and see the status of your HPA resources. Okay, nothing but horizontal pod auto scaling resources. Okay, so to do that I have to run this command. So let me copy this and I will remove this. This is not the command. So let me run this. What we see right now is we see something. What is the existing status of the auto scale? Yeah. So the name on which the auto scaling is targeted is PHP Apache, and the difference. Okay, so you see the reference, right? So this is the deployment original target, and the current usage target will be presented here. In the sense, we have targeted given we have something like target is nothing but 50% has been configured as a threshold, and the current usage is 0. Okay, that's what this tells us all about. Yeah. So when it is a 0 usage, it does not, right? It actually does not starts to scale. Okay. So now what I do is to show you like at a real time, like how the parts get automatically scaled. So for that one, what I do is I have to artificially make the resource crunch. In the sense, I have to artificially make the CPU usage very extensively consumed, so that the horizontal HPA, that is horizontal pod auto scaling configuration, can automatically scale the pods into that particular AKS cluster. Okay, that's the main motive of the next steps. To do that, what I do is I have to use another PowerShell command. Okay, because in the same session I cannot use it. Yeah. So for that reason, what I'm doing is I'm just using the one more PowerShell session. Yeah. And I will show you, this becomes again a repetitive step, but yeah. So what I am doing is I have to set my context, right? So I'm setting the context of my AWS account. I'm using the AWS CLI. Let me use command called AWS configure. So I'm using the access key ID, access key. This is my reason output. Yeah. And that's all. So this is my account context setting. Now what I do is for the purpose of checking the status of my EKS cluster, what I do is I just run this command. So you see I'm in the another window. Okay, so let me make you differentiate. So this is where we were earlier. Now I'm in the another window here, right? So what I'm doing is I'm running the ekctl command to check the status of my EKS cluster. So this is my EKS cluster name and this is my reason, and the status is currently active, right? Now let me run the command called kubectl get pod. Yeah. So what this command does is it will use the existing kube config credentials and try to query our ekctl EKS cluster and try to get the pods data. So as we saw, this is our pod and it is currently in the running state. Okay. Now we have to perform the next step from this console. Okay. That's the reason I have used separate console for it. For this one, what I do is I run this command. So what I'm doing this command is I'm just taking the one of the pod. Okay, let me explain you here by copying the command here. So let me copy it again rightly. Let me go back here and wipe it out. So here, let me put that command. So here, what I'm doing is kubectl pod, in the sense I'm just getting inside a pod and running a load generator image BuzzyBox, right? And what we are doing is, by this configuration, what I'm doing is I'm just logging into a pod, and by staying inside the pod, what I'm doing is I'm running something like resource crunch operation, so that the resource crunch can happen, and simultaneously it will invoke our HPA, that is horizontal pod auto scaling, to auto scale the pods. Okay, because there is already a resource crunch operation going in. Yeah. So what it says is it will just get that pod access, and from there we have to run the command. Yeah. Right, you see there is a / and the hash mark came in. Okay, so let me run the command called hostname. Let's see if it responds something. You see that the currently host is load generator. Okay, so I'm inside this host, nothing but inside this pod, and let me run the next resource crunching operation. Yeah, and let me run the command here. Let me copy it again. Anyways, I will be sharing this file with you in my repo, and you can take a reference from this. Okay. So you see what I'm doing. It just runs a while loop, and it will keep on printing. It will keep on checking the status of the service, that is PHP Apache service. Okay. You see that it is keep on running okay status. Okay. And this operation is very kind of CPU crunch. Okay, in the sense it will consume the much CPU cycle, and at the end it will what does is it will make a CPU crunch inside the inside our EKS cluster. Okay, now let's see how our HPA is behaving now, in the sense horizontal pod is behaving, right? So earlier you see the count was one. Okay, now let's run this command. Let's see how it is responding now. We should be seeing some replica set is growing now. Yeah, okay, so that is what the target of this HPA. Let's see. You see, right, the replica set earlier it was only 1. Now the replica set has been grown extensively, right? It is now the count is equal to 4. In the sense we have the 4 pods are running now. Okay, and you see the earlier the target was something like this. Now it is getting reduced. Yeah, and it has already set, in the sense this operation was so CPU crunching. Yeah, probably it will burst. Okay, and eventually we saw that the horizontal pod are now working as we expected, right? Since the CPU percentage has been getting increased, and the horizontal pod auto scaling up configuration has automatically identified, and it has increased the pods number from 1 to 10. Okay, and that's all we want to know here. Okay, so yeah, so with that note, what I have done is I have shown you the required steps to be shown in this demo, where I have created an Amazon EKS cluster. On that Amazon EKS cluster, I enabled the metric server. On that metric server, after enabling the metric servers, I also configured the HP on that. I configured an example web application on this EKS cluster. On top of the example web application, what I did is I deployed the HPA configurations, and in that one HPA configuration, we targeted to CPU usage. In the sense, when the CPU usage increases more than 50%, then automatically it has to scale one pod at each time. And we also given the target, in the sense maximum it can run of 10 pods. Okay, so that's the reason we see that it has already ran the 10 pods now. Yeah, right, and that's where we see now the count is standing around 10 pods. Yeah, and that's all. I have successfully shown you the things to be shown here. Yeah, finally, kind request, please do subscribe my channel. That would really encourage me a lot. With that note, thank you, thanks a lot. Yeah.